for live? No way. Let's do this thing. All right, we are here, episode 77 of the Detox Podcast. How are you guys doing? I'm back at you again with another episode. I'm your host, Darren Rita. Feel free to connect with me at any of the links down below. We're also, if you're new here and you enjoy comedy, music, or podcasts, do consider subscribing. We are almost to 600 subscribers. Trying to hit that by the end of the year.
Go hit the button.
Eight more to go. Come on, we can do that. And before I introduce you guys to my guest this week, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about car insurance. These days, it seems as if we're able to do more and more from home. So while you're at home, why aren't you saving money on your car insurance? Your hometown agency, Kenosha Auto Insurance, has specialized for years in simple, hassle-free, touch-free technology to help you get your best rates for you and your family. So what are you waiting for? Give them a call today at 262-448-4141. That's 448-4141. The website is kenoshains.com. It's on the screen right now. One more time, that's 262-448-4141. The worst that could happen is they will get you the best rates. Now, with all that out of the way, I'm pumped to introduce and talk with my guests. That's right, plural this week. One of which you might be familiar. He's been on the channel a couple of times. Had a pretty hefty and important arc back at the beginning of this year. And the other is a fresh face that's been working very closely with him that you guys are going to get to know a lot better today. They're both singer, songwriter, recording artists who are here to chop it up and promote their new project, Jordan and Pippin. So let's give a wet detox welcome to Anthony Grisanti and Michael Hodnik.
What's
there's
Gucci?
There's no clap track, but first off, I want to say thank you guys for being here. Secondly, congrats on the project.
Thank you. You know, we've been working on it for past, I'd say like 4 months, and I'm very proud of this one. It's the first time I've ever made a full project that's like 50-50 me and another artist, and it's definitely been a different experience than doing it solo, but it's still a great experience as far as it goes for me.
What about for you, Michael? Working how do you feel working on something like this as opposed to doing something solo?
For me, working with Anthony was really fun. I love his character. There's nothing that I don't like when I'm being in the studio with him making songs. It's a great feeling.
It's a good vibe. You guys mesh well together.
Yeah, and that made it a lot easier too to record this album and get things done. Nice.
Well, we're gonna get into all that in a second, but I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some fun stuff. For not that talking about the album won't be fun, but talk about it's Christmas time. We're a couple days out from Christmas. Are you guys on the naughty list or the nice list this year? You first, Michael.
I'm gonna go with the nice list. I don't know about Anthony though.
the nice list for Michael. Anthony, what's your pick?
Look, I gotta go with the naughty list. I just gotta say,
damn,
that
Santa's watching. He's
I know,
always watching.
I know. Listen, me and the big man are tight. Met him a bunch of times, but there's just some things I can't take back. Things happen.
Damn, it do be like that sometimes. We're
really
sorry,
do.
Santa. We let you down.
Really
we
do.
let you down.
The real ones know.
What we've been talking about. This has been like something we've talked about a couple. Naughty like a motherfucker. Whiskey man, how you doing? We've been talking about this. We talked about this in my last video with my guy Big Ty. I think we were talking about this a couple weeks ago when it was my birthday and mentioning like gifts, like gift giving and whatnot.
Right.
Will you guys get anybody any special gifts this year for Christmas? Now don't spoil what it is because they haven't opened it yet, obviously. But did you get anybody anything you're really excited for them to open?
Yeah, this fool actually.
Oh, you got him
Yeah.
something? No way.
Yeah, he hasn't told me yet.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I ain't saying a word though. It's kind of funny though. Like, the gift at the moment is useless. You can't use it at the moment.
Oh, okay. What about you, Michael? You get anybody anything you're looking forward to?
Gift cards.
Gift cards. Oh, you're a gift card guy.
It's
Our
an
gift
easy
card-
route. It's an easy route.
Are you excited when you get a gift
Dude,
card?
absolutely, dude.
I do have something that I'm pretty excited for. I want to make some nice cards. Not I don't want to buy them. I don't want to go to the store and buy a card. You just make them.
You want to make them handmade.
Yeah. So that's what I'm excited
That's
for.
sentimental.
Some true love for my parents, my sister, my brother.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
Don't waste the money on the cards.
Yeah, see, I love the act of, I mean, it's a little stressful trying to figure out sometimes like what you want to get for people.
Right.
But it is really cool and a really good feeling when you can get somebody something that you're really excited for them to
I've
open.
always kind of taken pride on that though. I'm kind of good at getting people gifts. Like I just
So
like
you're not excited about anything you're getting anybody this year?
No, I am, but I can't like the main one I'm excited about is him because I spend the most time with him. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, obviously, like
You don't have to
like
tell
with,
me what
with
anything
most
is.
of, with
just,
most
like,
of, with
maybe
like
who.
most of the other stuff with my family, it's just like small stuff that I know they like. That like it's like, cause like obviously I'm not the type to like buy like super huge like out there things, but like I'll get everybody like a couple like small things that they all like, so that way like. And it's always different for them. It's not like I'm gonna get them all like here everybody gets a $15 Subway gift card.
Mhm.
Like nah, like you know I usually
But you're not surprising anybody with a Tesla either. That's what you're trying to say.
you know
You're somewhere in between there.
listen man, 10 years down the line we still got room for it,
There
but
we go.
we ain't there yet.
Are you get that paycheck? We ain't.
Are you guys big on Christmas? Is Christmas time? I know a lot of people. It's their favorite time of the year. Okay.
Yes,
you too?
definitely. I love it. but-
Okay.
Not my favorite weather though. Least
Yeah,
favorite
no,
weather,
no,
favorite
no,
time
no,
of
no.
year, though, like, vibe.
Okay. Yeah. I would say Christmas music is pretty legit. But for me, yeah, it's a little stressful sometimes with receiving gifts. I find like it's weird for me.
See,
It's like weird expectations, and then like you get let down, and you get
If I
upset.
ever
or you
get-
get really like, or you get blown away, and you're like you feel guilty almost. That you
Yeah,
got this great thing.
If I ever got like a bad gift, I was never like vocal about it.
that would be spoiled. That would be
right.
that would be a dick
Right.
move.
But like obviously like as a kid there were times where I'd be like, oh, it's not what I was thinking it was gonna be or something like that, you know?
The box
But,
is
like,
really big. And what was
Right,
inside,
right,
yeah.
right. But like when you get like the older you get though, like I think back to those times when I was opening in all those gifts and stuff, and like the way I thought about it then versus now is way different. Like now I just appreciate that my parents even had enough money to even give me something
Yeah,
on Christmas,
exactly.
rather than what it was not being what I wanted when I was 5 or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
It just makes a lot more sense to me.
That's important. It's important to look at it that way. Have that
Yeah,
kind of
it's,
outlook.
It's about spending time with your family and being with your loved ones. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I want to say too, happy holidays to everybody who doesn't support Christmas. I know there's people that hate Christmas. I know there's that, and then there's other people that just celebrate other things. So, happy holidays to you guys as well. I don't know that. I think it's mostly in America though that we give the amount of gifts that we do though. I think it's like it's that kind of a big deal here.
America always seems to just be doing too much.
We like to do that.
Excessive.
What's this was a topic of our last video here on the channel. Are you guys big on eggnog or no? Eggnog, yes or no?
I hate it.
Really?
I cannot.
I got 2 eggnog haters across the
I
table.
can't
from me.
stand
I love
that.
eggnog. I
Hey.
can't drink a lot of it though. I will be honest.
All
I
I'm
only drink a
saying
little
is,
bit.
it shouldn't exist.
What the fuck is it though?
Like-
What is it? I don't know.
I don't know,
All I'm saying is I had it one time and I almost threw up. So I'm never having it again. Like,
bro. You could put as much rum as you want in that. I still am not gonna drink it. Like
See,
it doesn't matter. Like nah.
It's
Like
a
if I
it's
dude,
a weird thickness. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, nah. You know what it look and remind
do
you
know.
of. You know,
Yeah.
and that is the biggest reason I will never drink that shit.
So you tried it?
I've tried a sip of it and I regret it.
Oh, you gotta get a glass, man. You
Dude,
gotta
no,
get a
I can't.
glass.
There's no way I
Can't
could
make the
stomach a
decision.
whole glass of that shit, bro.
Can't make
It's
a
like you with the
decision of that.
mushrooms, bro. I can't do it.
No, yeah, that's fair. I can't do the mushrooms. All right, so Anthony, we had you on the show a while back, earlier this year, I think it was. It was within the first year of detox,
Yeah,
but
I think
it was still
I think it was like end of January-ish.
yeah, but it was still here in 2020. Now, back when we had you on, it was a spectacle of sorts, right? It was more so in retaliation to the episode prior. For those that don't know or maybe haven't been following the channel very long, we had a guy, Banning Daniel, on the show, and he and I were talking music creation. He makes music, or I don't know if he's working on anything right this second, but I know he was in the process of making his own original stuff at the time, and he used to work with you. You guys used to be kind of partners, whatnot, right? And your name had come up because I guess recently you had I don't know how, I forgot how the beef started, honestly, at this point. Someone put you guys against each other, like pinned you guys against each other online, and
It's
then
because like any really interaction that either of us would like post about music, somebody is gonna swipe up and bring it, back to that event or like that beef per se. So like there was nothing we could do to get around it, and honestly, the pressure from other people is what made it escalate. Like it probably wouldn't be as bad as it got if the other people weren't involved in it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it was just me and him.
And so
Probably would have never even got to that point.
And so when you came on the show, it was because you had just called him out on Snapchat, I believe, right? Like you just said something to him.
I called him out on Snapchat because like when I first saw it, I was mad because I felt like it was very cowardly to like because none of this was said to my face like prior to that. So like I felt like it was very cowardly to come and just air how he felt at the time. Like that
before the podcast, you had said something about how he doesn't want that, but you didn't say it at him. You were like saying like
because
y'all can't
I wasn't like fully like fuck him there yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was just kind of like getting to the point where like I'm really sick of him making these sly comments. Let me just post something and let him know like yo like please
I remember
chill out.
It was
bro.
like you don't want the smoke.
Yeah, because I was starting to get mad because like it was the passive aggressiveness that was irritating the shit out of me. But it's like you either tell me what's wrong or you shut up and don't do anything. You know what I'm saying?
And so I just want to explain so people have some they understand where we're coming from and why those episodes happened and you know the character arc that you've been on like we were joking about off air.
Yeah, and like I said, like it we ended up fixing it, but like it was
very funny how that's how I got to know you was basically
very
through a
interesting
we played a clip of you kind of not cussing him out but kind of calling him out, right? And then the next week we had you on to tell your side of the story.
Yeah,
and
because he said something about like the project that I was working on at the time. It was just like kind of snarky, and so I didn't take to it well.
Yeah, but basically we ended up having you on. We squashed the beef here live on D-Talk.
Yes, sir.
It was the biggest crossover event in history, second to Marvel's Endgame.
Absolutely,
we were very close.
A whopping 3 characters.
Exactly. And so it was a big deal. And at that point, you still hadn't released any music in a very long time.
Yeah, in a long time, and none on like all
platforms. Right?
It was just on SoundCloud before that.
So we were still, even though we wanted to root for you and believe you, we still
absolutely.
didn't know.
There was no merit.
Know.
There was no merit.
Yeah, no one could know what was going to happen. But since then, you've dropped 2 projects, White Rose and Couple Slaps.
Yes, sir.
And you're here today promoting your 3rd one now.
Jordan and Pippen.
Collab with Michael Hodnik.
I'm Pippen. He's Jordan, by the way, in case you're wondering. His name's Michael.
Okay. How has that journey been? Because you know, even coming on the show, and not in a clowning sense, but I mean, Banning kind of still. I don't even know if he even brought that up. I probably should have watched that in preparation for this. But with your guys' beef back and forth, I think a lot of his criticism was that you hadn't really done anything since then. Both of you guys really hadn't done a lot. And you were making these claims that you were now he wasn't claiming that he was anything crazy, but you were claiming that like, oh, I'm this good, and you hadn't released anything to back it up.
And I think the problem was not only that I couldn't record and finish my music, but I think I was stuck in like that state of like the fear of putting something out again, you know. But eventually I got past that.
Yeah.
But like for a while it was like that.
But how has it been now? You've got 2 projects. What do those 2 projects mean to you? Now that you're here,
a bunch. Like I mean, I love putting on music now. Like. Sure, I'll occasionally still get a text from somebody being like, yo, I just listened to your whole project. Dude, you fucking suck. Like, I hate your voice. I hate the way that you say this word. I hate, like, this song. And I'll be like, yo, I really appreciate that you just took your time to listen to every single song on that project and then come tell me how much you hate it, because it just proves how much you care to come and tell me that. You took the time to do that. Like, there is irrelevant ass kids that I don't even speak to nor see that I know from high school, and they'll still to this day like hate on my shit and try and like as if it's gonna like change how I view things. Like they'll be like, you should quit music right now, and I'll be like, you're right, bro. I'm sorry. I should have quit.
Damn,
you're right. I'm so sorry.
Why didn't I think?
Why didn't I think of that, dude?
Yeah.
Like. Obviously, I'm not just gonna drop to whatever they say. So, and it's not even worth it, because like if they care that much to even say something, then I must live rent free in their head, because it's not sweating me none. I mean, it's sweating them something clearly, because I'm having a great time putting out music, and like I made peace with the fact that like if I never get famous off my music, I'm okay with that. Like if I go through my entire life and I make music for 20 years and I never get famous, I'm okay with that, because I have music that I still enjoy, that I made, and I will remember that for the rest of my life, regardless as to whether I get rich or famous off of that. That's something that I made. Nobody can take that away from me. I can show that to my kids in the future. They could do what they want, and I feel like even me just trying to do what I want to do as my dream could inspire like kids in the future, or like even my kids to do what they want to do, as opposed to like just following what everybody thinks you should do. Like I want to be I want to be just like proof that you should follow your dreams and you shouldn't just go to college because that's what everybody says and just, you know, do what everybody says you should do. You should do what you feel is right for you.
And kids, you should go to college if that's what's right for you.
If that's right for you, go to college.
We're not saying don't go to college. I'm just saying do what's right for you.
I'm saying go to college if you know that that's what's right for you. If you're going to go to college just to go to college, don't go. Like, if you know what you want to go for, then go. But if you don't have any idea and you're just going to go because that's what everybody does, don't go.
Don't do that, yeah. And same thing. If everyone's telling you become a famous rapper and it's not for you, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, we just want you to do what's best for you.
Right. Yeah.
But and all jokes aside, you know, just hearing you speak about it, right? You're in a very different place, it seems like, than you were when I had you on the first time. And when we were talking from a place of, you know, hopeful, wishful thinking, like I want to do these things, but there was really no feasible way for you to do that yet, right? Like you didn't have like a studio or a place to do that yet at the time. But you wanted to do those things really badly. Now, how do you think, obviously, you know, getting the opportunity and whatnot, we'll get to that in a minute, but how do you think that you've like grown and like changed as an artist and a person?
Man, like
from then until now. I mean, putting out these projects now on all platforms, you know, more people are going to listen to it, whether you like it or not, and more people are going to have things to say, positive or negative. Yeah. How do you think that that's changed you?
Well, let's look at it this way. Like, when I would put out music, like, 3 years ago when I first started, it was constantly made fun of, and it was just, like, kind of like a joke, right? And, like, fast forward to, like, let's say a couple months ago when I played a certain unreleased song that I have for one of my friends, and it made them cry because they related to it through something in their personal life. Like, that shit is powerful to me. Like, I could feel their pain being like brought back when they were talking about it, and that was just from listening to one of my songs. So like when I see things like that or hear people tell me like this reminded me of this in my life and like it's crazy that you can do this, or like when people tell me they're proud of me or that they're impressed by me writing music, and they always ask like do you write your own music? I'm like, yeah, like why wouldn't I? And then like people are always surprised, but like it surprises me that people connect enough with it to feel so moved to be physically like moved by it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And what do you think from getting those experiences, right? What has changed in
my
mind
my
or
perspective
your
on my music? Like when I put something out, I used to think like, all right, I need to make what is the most appealing to the public, and like just do what they want me to do basically. So like a very like one-way street type of thinking, like and that didn't work. And then I realized that like yes, I'm making music for the consumer, but at the end of the day it's for me. I want it for me. So like if you're
not happy with this, it's gonna be hard to live that and to push that to people, right?
And now I only put something out if I'm 100% comfortable with it. I think it fits and I think it's the right thing at the right time, and like I'm much more down to put things out now, honestly. Like if anything, I'm the complete opposite of what I was before. I didn't really want to put shit out because I was scared to, and now all I want to do is put stuff out. Like,
and do you credit that? This is where I want our audience to kind of get to know Michael a little bit more. And do you credit a lot of like this newfound, either whether it's your mindset, whether it's this like that you're more so ready or that you're just able to release more music now? Would you credit that to this partnership?
There are two people that have completely helped me change my mindset and everything I've been doing with my music over the past year. It's the man sitting next to me and Kobe Bean Bryant. Those were the two people that completely changed. We talked about Kobe
last time you were on the show.
Absolutely. I try to approach every single day as if he would. I try to think like him. I try to push myself like him. Like if I'm going to quit, I try to go as long as I can. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like just try until I get it the right way. And he definitely pushes me in that way too. And I push him both ways. It just works really nice. Yeah.
So Michael, I definitely do. I want to know from you, when did you and Anthony, did you guys meet for the first time this year then? Or when did you guys start linking up to do music?
It's not that we met the first time this year. Like we've known each other and known of each other for the past 3 years, because we found each other on Instagram through the music stuff, and we've just like known of each other, and then like we'd seen each other in public like twice before. Yeah. Like just randomly. Okay. And then eventually we ended up hanging out like literally probably like 4 months after the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So-
And so I knew Anthony for a while, but like we weren't really making any music. So
Yeah.
we were just friends, and I didn't know that he was like this is something that he wanted to do, you
Yeah.
know, more prominently. So I ended up talking to him because I needed a rapper for a single,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, okay, what are my options? And long hold and behold, we have Anthony Grisanti over here.
He was there.
Um,
We had the man for the job.
Yeah, so
And I remember exactly what song he's talking about too.
What's
Eh.
the name of the song? Little plug right here.
It's called Broken.
Broken.
It's really old.
it is, yeah,
Broken,
and
okay.
that was when I was just starting to learn how to produce. So
Yeah.
I was just releasing on SoundCloud,
And
and
that's when I was really just trying to work on my lyricism and my delivery, because those were my two biggest weak points.
Gotcha.
How
Gotcha.
I rap and what words I use.
so that song really kicked things off for us. And then ever since we've stayed in touch, and that's what started this.
Yeah. So what? How did it? Because for the most part, like you sort of are the guy in the chair when he's doing his music, right? Like his solo stuff. You produce all your solo stuff, but then you also produce his stuff too as well. Right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So how did it go from I need this guy on this one song to we're gonna I'm gonna let this guy come hang out. We're gonna make music all the time together. I'm gonna help him with his music. He's gonna help me with mine. Well, how did it make that jump from your perspective?
Well, we started hanging out, and that's pretty much the gist of it.
How's
We
that?
really
Yeah.
we really get along together. We've never got into any fights, so
Now,
it wasn't there wasn't a problem with any of that. And we both obviously enjoy music. Wanted to make music, and Anthony brought up an idea for a collab project, and we were like, let's do it.
Yeah. So for from a like creative standpoint, then obviously like we've mentioned a couple of times already. My audience got to know Anthony a little bit already in an episode, and an episode before that got to hear some choice words about him. So for my audience that doesn't really know you yet, I'm sure maybe you have some people either tuned in, you may be listening the next day. Thank you to those on Spotify, by the way. I always forget about my guys on Spotify. If it's the next day or whatever, how do you approach, like when did you start like kind of taking music seriously, and then like what does the creative process like mean to you or look like for you?
I've been fortunate enough to have parents that supported my music from a very young age. I was talking to you earlier about drums and how I wanted to or how I've been doing it since I was 3, and
Yeah.
then I eventually went to different instruments, but I've never really been, or I wasn't really into making music until about like freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
I hadn't really thought that it was something that I wanted to do. So after I made the decision to start doing music is when things started rolling. And
When did you make that decision? How'd you arrive at that decision? What pushed you to that point?
I would probably have to say that it's because I didn't enjoy school.
Mhm.
I just never had fun with it. Music was the ground for me. It is everything that I enjoy. All put into one. It's just what I like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what took you from it being like what you like to do to like, you know what? I'm gonna write a song and put that out. Cause I know like for me, I'm someone I've always loved music. My parents, my dad, to his credit, did want me to learn guitar my whole life, and I was just weird and didn't want to. I wish I would have. I wish I would have. So I didn't really like learn a lot of instruments, but I always loved music. My parents played a lot of different music and whatnot growing up, and so I always loved it. But it wasn't until I got into some like more independent like underground artists where I was like, you know what? I don't know why, but I feel like I have to do this. I feel like I have to do this too. I feel like I have a story that I need to tell. When or maybe who inspired you to do that?
I'm gonna have to say my mom, because
Okay.
the first song I ever wrote was about my mom, and it was a pretty emotional song if I'm being
Okay.
honest. But ever since then, the way that song impacted her when she heard it and I played it for her, it changed my whole perspective of music, and it made me realize that I like being able to allow people to listen to something and take it, into
Yeah.
their own way. And
Yeah.
whatever emotions they have or any of that, they can do with as they please. So
Yeah, that's gotta be a powerful moment too to make something like that your mom can enjoy, and you wrote it about her, and I mean that's gotta be a special moment. So I could definitely see that catapulting you into wanting to do more and wanting to keep creating,
yeah.
which is really cool. So what year was that your freshman year of high school then, or how long ago from today 2020? How long ago was that?
My first project, I believe, was 2015 because it was
2015.
yeah.
Okay.
8th grade is when I was able to. My parents were able to get me studio time in Kenosha, and then I ended up recording 5 songs, and those were the songs that were on my first project when I was a boy, and everything started from there.
Oh,
And
okay.
So 8th grade.
8th grade. You
But-
got studio time and recorded in the studio in Kenosha. Is it a nice? I mean, not to if it's not, you don't have to throw anybody under the bus. But I'm just curious. I've never gone to like a big studio like that. Was it a big, nice studio, or where was it?
It was a very nice studio. It was in downtown Kenosha.
Okay, cool.
It's- I don't know if it's there anymore because they were renting it out, and
Yeah.
then they had all of their equipment there, of course. But
Yeah.
the atmosphere of being in a studio is completely different from a home studio, and I think that every musician should be able to experience that at least once.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff in there that I was like, wow, I was amazed. And at that age, I was excited for sure.
I'm
and
sure the wow factor, of just walking in has got to be special.
Yeah, and thankfully, my parents were able to allow me to do that.
So how does that work when you go in there? Then does someone, and I'm only speaking from a perspective of someone who's only worked in, bedroom studios, or even I built my own little one now. And how does that work? Is there like an engineer in there that's like, hey, do this, or do you come in like, hey, I want to record these songs. Here's the files. Like, how does that work?
So the people that we were working with, I was able to kind of work with my sound engineer. There was a sound engineer there.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he was able to record for me, so I didn't have to, go back and forth like I usually do in my process, and have to record and do it all on the computer.
Yeah.
He was there to kind of help me record, and also did provide some input for the album, and definitely helped me out a lot and made it a really fun experience.
Yeah. How much studio time for a full project?
It was probably a week's worth, like a whole week.
That's pretty crazy,
yeah.
man. For that, like, just at a professional studio, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Shout
definitely.
out to your parents then for hooking it up.
Yes.
Man, that's cool. That's a really cool way to get started into it too. When you make music, what kind of is the drive behind that now? Obviously, talked about what catapulted you into doing it, but what kind of pushes you forward to this day? What makes you want to make the next song, or what is it that you hope people get from your music?
I hope that they're inspired. That's the big thing for me. I don't want somebody to listen to my music and just be like hyped up about it and stuff like that. They can, of course. I want to make stuff that makes people happy. I want to make stuff that makes people sad. I want people to feel. That's like the, I don't know.
So what is I guess in a better way to put it, what's like your message as an artist, I guess, then? For myself, I know, and you guys both use your real names as your stage name as well, like I do. So for me, that was a big decision for me to do, because I had like some joking like rap names that I want to do, and people always do an alias and whatnot, but I was really big on choosing to stick with Darren Rita, because one of the bigger things in my personality is just trying to be honest always. Just trying to like speak, as corny as it's played out as it is now, speak your truth, right? And so I didn't want to hide behind an alias. I wanted everything to be me. So everything I write, everything I make has either happened to me, has been explained to me by somebody else, or is like a story or situation that someone, either me or I know personally, has gone through. And so that's basically my whole thing in my music is telling my story through a lens that I hope people can spin positively. And so I'm curious, I want to get to you too on this, but first for you, Michael, what's kind of your take on that?
Yeah, like you actually.
He needs some time to ponder that. That's a layered
Alright.
question. That's fair. That's fair.
Give it to me one more time.
So
Give it one more time.
what it so for me, right?
Mhm.
Everything I'm making, everything I'm putting out there
Yeah.
is for people. Obviously, I want them to get my story. It's my diary, right, if you will.
Right.
But it's in a way where I hope that they can spin it in almost how Michael was saying, in an inspiring way, right? I have songs, even like 110, where it's all about just working hard. Even this one of my latest ones, Try, stuff like that, where I don't write from a perspective of like you were saying, like just hype for the sake of hype. I don't just make a whatever party song for a party song. I make songs and things that I've gone through, or that I find funny, or that I know has happened to my friend or to me or my dad, whatever it is, right? What is sort of your message as an artist?
So with that is, I don't even like look at myself as just like a rapper. I don't like when I think of me and
You
my
gotta
music.
be careful. You're teetering on a very what's that? It's very cliche right here. About to say I'm not a rapper, man. I'm not just a rapper. Every rapper says
like
that.
I don't look at myself as just a rapper because like I know that there's more than just like rap that I want to do. Like because
From
I
a
like
message
because I like
standpoint,
because I
'cause
like
you're talking
like-
sonically to me right now. So from a
Yeah,
message
and
standpoint,
how-
for
yeah.
me, I'm always talking, be yourself and be yourself through any situation. I think that's the only
and
way
that's
to
why
find peace.
and that's what I like to. So when I make music, I want to be able to literally like talk about anything that I feel or anything that's in my life, right? And if people can use that in a positive way, that's great. But if people take it in a negative way, like that's their experience with it. Like I honestly, at the end of the day, my music is out there to inspire those that it will, and if it doesn't, it doesn't.
Okay.
It's just and it also motivates myself, and it helps me when I make music. I feel like whole.
Okay.
Like if I go through a long period where I don't write, or if I don't just go to the studio, or if I don't like just do anything related to my music, if I don't work really, I don't feel right. I feel like something's missing. I'll get depressed. I'll get like all kinds of messed up just because like when I think of it like Kobe does. Like I can't even like sleep in. I hate sleeping in. Like if I
slept
sleep
in today.
if I
so you
sleep
hate
in,
me. No,
if
I'm
I sleep in, like I feel like I'm wasting my day just because of how long I'm sleeping. Like I'm always up like by like 8 or 9 usually. And if I'm not, then it's an off day. But I don't know. I've always been that way though.
So like I guess what I'm trying to get at is if I had to give me this in like a one sentence, and then you can expand on that sentence if you wish.
All right.
So for me, if someone were to ask me what is it that I should be getting out of your music, right? If the random, like most random person, they played one of my singles, they played just a random song off a project, right? If they played one, they hit shuffle, what are they gonna hear? What is the consistent theme that they're gonna hear, right? And for me, it would be yourself and try to do your best at only telling the truth and living your truth. And I think that you're gonna find peace at some point.
It's gonna sound corny, but this is legit. Like, do what you love, and if somebody doesn't like, if somebody like shits on you for doing what you love, to hell with them.
They're in a sad place. That's a great way to put it. That's a great message. That's what we were going for, and I like that.
There you go.
I like that. What about you, Michael? What's that? We're come circle rack around to you.
I don't want people to hurt each other. I want everybody to be unified.
ELE, everybody.
Yeah.
There we go.
That is my
Everybody love
message.
everybody. That's a great movie. Have you guys seen that movie? You've not seen Semi-Pro?
Nope.
What? Oh my goodness! And you guys.
You haven't seen Godfather.
I know, that's fair. I haven't seen Godfather. They were giving me crap for that before we went on. All right, so when it comes to the project now, I got blessed to get an early listening of the project. Got to listen a little bit last night, a little bit today. What you said, Michael? You said that Anthony kind of came to you with the idea for the project, right? To do a collab. How did that whole conversation go down from your perspective?
I think it all started when Anthony started showing me YouTube videos of basketball highlights.
Okay.
Because I
So you had
wasn't-
never seen YouTube before? Or you'd never seen a basketball?
No.
He
I've
said-
seen both before.
He said, "This is this orange thing. This guy right here. These wizards. They throw this thing around. It's crazy. I got to show you some videos." No, so he's showing you some basketball highlights.
Yeah, and over the course of the months that I had, started to hang out with him and get to know him, I've realized that he is very into basketball, and I like basketball too, but I wasn't really into it as much as Anthony is, and he kind of got me more into that side of things. But after a while, he brought up the idea of Jordan and Pippen because he was talking about all of these great dual partners in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jordan and Pippen aren't the only ones.
Let me explain why. Now.
He's like, I gotta take the mic.
So here's the reason. I'm Pippen. He's Jordan. Obviously, yeah, he's Michael, but that's just like the base reason. But like,
before you do this, I want to talk about the name of the project first.
Okay.
So it's Jordan and Pippen.
yeah.
So on listening and
Mhm.
hearing even Michael talk about it for a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like I'm gonna get some basketball either themes or references, right?
Tons.
But when I listen to the project, definitely get some bars and whatnot that reference it. But I would say subject matter wise, like it's not necessarily about even like not really like in an aggressive nature that like a sport like basketball might be, right? So why not before you explain? I guess explain the name first, and then I got a question for you actually.
Okay.
I don't know where.
Well,
I
mean, I think I kind of get what you were going for there. But like, I guess the reason I'm Pippen and he's Jordan is because like he does the most when it comes to making our music. Like, yeah, I write all my own stuff and like I'll give like input on a lot of stuff, but he does like all the hard shit. Like he does all the stuff that I cannot understand.
Yeah.
And so that would make him the best in my opinion. He's like the Michael Jordan, right? Okay. Who's always with Michael Jordan? Who's always right by his side, ready to go? Scottie Pippen. On top of that, you take Michael Jordan away like you did for those 2 years, and who was the best damn player in the NBA for those 2 years? Scottie Pippen. If you were to take him away, I'd still be the shit, but I'm much better with him.
Okay, that's a good way of putting it.
Yes, sir.
You're not winning any rings though without him.
No.
If you want to use that analogy.
No, the success comes from him, but I would still be the shit without him.
That's fair. I like that. So that what I was kind of getting to, what I was alluding to is the meaning. So like when you guys were deciding on that you wanted to go with that, because I mean Jordan and Pippen, those are two very famous. It's a very famous duo.
Yeah.
Probably the most famous duo of all time. One of the most recognizable.
It's either that or Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah, I would, but I would argue that like Michael Jordan in general, like just Jordan
Just Jordan
is
probably bigger.
One of the most recognizable things, probably second to the Nike symbol.
Yeah.
And he's in big part helped it become that, right?
And now when people see the Nike symbol, they even still think Jordan because of how big he is.
Exactly. So when you decide to do something like that, how did you like that's a big thing, right? Well, we're gonna use these people's names, right? How did you go about choosing like what individual songs or what the project was gonna be about, subject matter wise? Because right, you could put lines in that mention Jordan, mention Pippen, mention people balling, whatever. But how do you decide on subject matter for the actual songs?
So this project, this is what I wanted to base it off of. Think about my idol, Kobe.
Okay.
What did he do every day?
He's not Jordan.
I know. Hold on.
I'm just kidding.
It gets this.
Gotcha.
He studied Jordan's mentality like for years. That's what he did because that was his idol, right?
Yes.
And that mentality is what caused Kobe to be successful. So I think there's something to be said that if you have that Jordan mentality and you just keep trying, never give up on like where like even if it takes you longer than you expected to be successful, like it did with Jordan, like keep in mind when Jordan came into the league, he was like for years, like probably like the first 6-7 years of his career, everybody thought he couldn't win because he was just on the Bulls and they weren't winning shit. Like, but you have to understand he stuck through those years and got to the winning years because he stuck through those. And I think that the fact that they built around him over time and then he became what he is now is exactly what I want to do with my music. Like, I can start right now and people could say, you don't have anything right now. You're shit right now. Or, like, that's what they were saying back then. But maybe 2 years from now, everything that they said back then is completely irrelevant.
Yeah, so I see that, and I totally agree with that when it comes to like the title and whatnot, and I definitely subscribe to that way of thinking. But what I guess I'm getting at is when you choose to make the title that, right, and then each individual song, because the songs are good songs, right? They're good songs, but they don't have like a whole lot to do with what you're just describing to me right now. Because like how did you? That's what I'm saying. How did you decide like, oh, let's make this one this kind of vibe about this topic, and then let's make this.
I guess when we were going into this, like the overarching vibe of it is we wanted to. There's kind of like a duality kind of aspect to it. We wanted to make
a lot
sure
of the songs for people that obviously people haven't heard it yet unless they're listening after. It comes out Wednesday, correct? Unless they're listening after Wednesday. A lot of the songs have and Michael, you did the production on it, right? So a lot of the songs, really cool production on the production side, especially. they have a lot of switch ups, a lot of dual
Yeah.
melodies and tempo. Not I wouldn't. Were,
All of-
were there
all of
tempo changes? Were there a couple tempo changes in there? It was close. It
All
was
the
close.
songs,
Yeah.
they all have at least 2 beats.
Yeah, it's basically every song is like a dual song.
Yeah.
So
So we tried to get it with the duo. That's like where like the duo aspect comes in, sort of. And then like we also wanted to accentuate what we are both really good at about when we mix our styles together on this project. So like, when do me and him sound our best is when we do these specific things. Like maybe when he's on a hook for this kind of beat and I'm rapping, or
Mhm.
maybe it's both of us, like, you know, trying to sing rap. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
melodic rap, or like it just we would listen to these projects, and on top of that, like when I was writing, not only would I write to try and put like bars about like Jordan and Pippen and like NBA and all that kind of stuff in there, but like the underlying theme of the project was to never give up and to always like think how Jordan and Pippen did and just stick it out for as long as you can and get as much out of life as you can. So like that's why on several songs you hear like, you know, it'll get easier, like stuff like that, you know, because like it's a very, we want to like, this is supposed to be a very positive project, like just keep pushing if you're thinking about giving up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
the grind, exactly.
So I want to just hear kind of your thoughts on that, Michael. Everything he kind of just said.
Yeah, he said it pretty well, but this project for me, when I was starting to come up with ideas, was that look at it the way that Jordan and Pippen did on the court. They were, very focused. They had a lot of motivation, and they also wanted to inspire people.
Yeah.
So the messages that are conveyed through the lyrics are going to follow those ideas.
So what for you then? What is what's like a, I guess it's tough, and I hate when people ask me this, but I'm gonna do it to you guys anyways. What's your favorite track on the project? Oh, okay. See, I can never pick a favorite, so that's hard for me.
I mean, I'm gonna be biased and say the song that's titled Michael is probably, but it's not the best. But at the same time, production wise, when I was, on the computer, really deep diving into it, there's a lot more that goes into it production wise.
So from you is more the production standpoint as opposed to like what the song was actually about, or is it like just kind of combination of all that?
A combination of
So
that for sure.
For people that haven't heard it yet, what's Michael, that song about? When people can, we don't want to spoil the whole album, we'll let people enjoy it on their first listen for themselves. But let's give them a little sneak peek into what it's about. Michael, the track. What track was that? It was number 3.
Number 3.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's got 2 halves, and the first half of the song is supposed to be kind of over the top and exaggerating, and the second half kind of brings it all together. And
What are you exaggerating in that first half?
it's a kind of a
It's supposed to be like a more of like an aggressive, like in your face kind of style, like to attract your attention right off the bat, like
Yeah.
hook now you're listening.
and lyrics wise, it is
That too, more braggadocious.
it is based on some of the time that I spent in California. So I
Mhm.
kind of just wanted to make something fun for that track specifically. It's not by any means like real or anything, but I wanted to go just go crazy with that beginning part, and then in the end it ties it all together. A little less auto-tune, a little less of all the crazy effects, and just more focused in on the vocals and making everything come together.
So okay, so not to feel like I feel like, and not to say that you didn't answer my question, but what is it like specifically about, if you had to say, like what, like, because that's like more the sonic side of things, right? Like I think that's like more how you produced it and like how it's coming at from a braggadocious, because like you said, and I've listened to it as a good song, how it comes at, it's like you wanted to gain their attention right at the beginning, right? And then as the song progresses, what is that? What should I be coming away? I mean, obviously everyone comes away with something different, but like what did you put in?
The beginning of the song is pretty much do you want to
Yeah, I can talk about. Okay, so
Not to
As
put you
far
on the
as-
spot. I'm
no.
just curious.
as far as like my part goes on Michael, like I have 2 different parts. I
Mhm.
have like my first verse and then my second verse. Second verse, like he said, the second half of the song, it's much more calmed down, and like what I mainly was trying to get across in my verses was like mostly the second verse, because that was the one I tried to make the better verse. But that one is just talking about how like everybody had these doubts about me, and I had these doubts about myself.
Okay.
But then like I stuck it through anyway. Like this whole theme of never giving up, I stuck it through anyway, and like now I went from people saying oh, you're crazy. You ain't going to college. Like you're not doing this. You're not doing that. And I'm saying like, fuck that, dude. I'm just gonna keep making music. Like I'm gonna keep pumping it out. Keep going. And like like I said, it's more or less just another song about like not giving up. And it doesn't matter like really where in the world you come from, because you can always get out of that situation at some point and go somewhere better for you.
I like that. And like I said, I like the song. It's a good track. I was
you.
just curious as to how you guys came up with it.
Yeah.
I thought really cool song.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's really cool, and that's definitely a good positive meaning behind it. And I think that ties cohesively into the rest of the project with what you guys were trying to convey.
Absolutely.
When it came to, did you guys make a whole lot of songs, then cut the track list down? How did it? Was it like you made multiple songs and then decided to combine them together, or when you guys set out to make each song, was it like I want to make these all duality type tracks?
Originally, it was gonna be 7 songs, and then there was gonna be 5 collaboration tracks, and then we each got a solo track like at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were just like, honestly, cohesively it doesn't make as much sense, so we looked at it from a different like way, and we were like, well, what if we're just both on each song, and it's only like 6 songs because like 6 rings. And then like we were like, all right, let's just start making songs, right? And like we'll see which ones we think sound like good in a group, and which ones will fit theme wise. And we made more than just these 6 songs, but like these were the 6 for this project. Cause like the way we work, we don't work on like, I'm working on like 3 projects right now. Like we don't work on like one thing like just and then just
I
go
feel
through.
you. I do the same
So
thing.
like
I'm all
he'll like,
scatterbrained.
so like me and him will like we'll record like, for example, like 2-3 weeks ago we recorded like a more lyrical rap song for myself, and then just like yesterday we were recording R&B. Like it's never like we're always just working on one project or like one thing. We're just kind of
Keeps
like
it fresh that
back
way.
and forth. It literally depends on the inspiration that we feel that day.
Mm-hmm. So when and maybe so from your standpoint, Michael, then just I want to hear from you. What is it tough then deciding on, especially you're doing the like a lot of the production side, is it tough like narrowing it down that track list to like these are the ones we want?
It was. We did have to cut one song that we did want on this album, and it just didn't make it, but we really did like it, and it just wasn't going where we
still
wanted
got plans
it to.
for it sometime in the future, or
That's the thing. So we can use it for the future. It just didn't fit the vibe of the album.
that's
so.
cool. How is and so I guess Anthony kind of touched on it already, that you guys your process is really trying to make sure they fit thematically and sonically, right? Like for you then on the production side of things, and I know it's obviously inspiration, whatever you guys are kind of inspired by at the time. How do you get inspired when it comes to producing beats, and maybe is it like Anthony's like, hey, I kind of got an idea for this kind of vibe, or maybe you're like, let's do this today, and I just do that, or is it what you're listening to in your personal life?
It's always different, because I could have something done and show it to Anthony, and he's like, I want to write something for it. Or I could be like, he has something he wants to show me.
Yeah.
Or it's like we come up with something together. So
That's
there isn't
cool.
really a good answer for that, but yes.
No, that's cool though. That's cool.
There will be sometimes though. This happens like all the time, honestly, where I'll be like, I'll think of like a melody or something in my head, or like I'll see like something on like a video or something, and I'll be like, Michael, hear me out real quick. And what if we were like dun 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 dun, and like I'll like hum it out, and he'll be like, give me 10 minutes, and then he like goes and does it, and then we'll like listen to see if it's how I how it sounded in my head or not, or stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. You guys kind of have that ability that you mesh that well.
Yeah, I just say what I'm feeling and thinking about, and usually you can turn it into physical.
Yeah, and it's all in the moment for me. Like I'm just whatever happens. Whatever I make, whatever comes out of my hands when I'm on the keys.
Yeah.
It's
That's cool, man. Who are like, when you obviously you have a different perspective than Anthony and I. I produce a little, but not a whole lot. I haven't released like anything that I've produced myself yet. But who like inspires you production wise? Like where do you get like your ideas for sounds from?
Mac Miller was a huge inspiration for me. Everything about him, and also the way that he was able to take his lyrics and mesh them with the instrumental so well, and also the different styles that he had. He was not just locked in one genre. He was able to
Did you enjoy
make it.
his posthumous project? A lot of people really liked after he passed away, his first project.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought that was really
it made me cry, it made me tear up, and the first part of that project was just as good.
Yeah.
But he is the biggest inspiration production-wise for me, and then also Six, which is Logic's producer.
Yeah.
Sure. He was another big one for me. Yeah, he's
Yeah, that's
crazy.
cool.
He crazy on the computer, but
Drake's producer, you don't miss either.
Yeah, Noah Shabib 40. He you guys should listen. He did an episode of Kevin Durant's podcast, especially being on the producers.
really?
Even as an artist, it's an awesome listen. I would definitely. Now, not that they need the plug, but you guys should go check it out if you haven't heard it. Yeah, he talks about all his production and how he learned how he got his sound and how him and Drake kind of basically created a sound for Canada, like for Toronto. It's literally if you're from Toronto,
awesome.
that's what you sound like. That's what it is, right?
I mean,
Which is super cool.
Minus the weekend.
Yeah, but I mean Drake.
He created a whole nother sound for Toronto too.
But Drake put the weekend on.
Oh, facts. But like he still had like the local like following like the weekend did. Like he had like a little.
Oh, he was not some nobody.
Right.
Drake didn't just pick some random guy. Yeah, no,
Like, he had the local thing going on, and he was like, "Yo, this kid."
yeah.
Different.
But
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
another thing that motivated me was that there was a ton of other people online that you'll see producing songs and just releasing them all the time, and all ages, doesn't matter if they're old or young, and that really inspired me too. So
What do you produce on?
I use FL Studio.
FL Studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried Pro Tools. I've tried it Ableton.
You didn't
I've-
like Pro Tools? A lot of people love Pro Tools. Is I think it's like the industry standard. I haven't gotten to use it yet. I want to try it.
Yeah, Pro Tools is really nice. That's what When I Was a Boy was made on. That whole
Mhm.
project was recorded on Pro Tools. But FL for me, production wise, is a lot easier to
Yeah.
navigate.
That's what I hear. It
Yeah.
looks
It-
like way more user friendly than anything else that I've used.
Out of everything I've used, I've never had as nice of a time making music on FL as anything else. So
And so do you do everything in FL then, like from the production to the recording side of it too?
everything in FL, mixing, mastering, recording.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I have Reason. A lot of people don't even know what Reason is, but I use Reason as my DAW.
Just to prove how much I know, I used to use Audacity.
Audacity. Yeah, I know some people that use Audacity or used to at least. No, I'd love to try out Pro Tools.
But I started on GarageBand. So
You started on GarageBand. It's humble
yeah.
beginnings. Who
Humble
doesn't give it
beginnings.
a shot? I remember in high school they had a like iMac class or something class where we just got to use like iMacs. We had like one small iMac lab, and one of the units was like getting used to GarageBand, so I got to fuck around with that for a little bit. But other than that, no, not really. But yeah, it's really neat, especially from the production side of things. How deep you can get into tracks. I'm sure. I know I'm just like not even a year into trying to learn just that side of
Yeah.
things. I do all the mixing and mastering, and as well as like writing and recording, but I just don't do the production side of things right now.
I started producing about 2 years ago now. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm not crazy or anything, but I definitely have learned, and it's always a continuous process. You're
Oh
never
yeah,
gonna,
keep improving with every
Yeah.
release. That's a big thing. Even with
Yeah.
what you guys are talking about the project, how it's about not giving up and keep moving forward, even pressing on even when people don't believe in you, right? That's big, and you got to apply that to your own aspects of life, which in your guys' case is making music, producing, writing, recording, all that good stuff. So now I want to ask you guys what can people expect moving forward from both of you guys, because you guys have your own things going on personally as well. Unless is there anything else on the project that you guys really want people? We're trying to get people excited about it. What do you want people to know about this project so that they should go listen on Wednesday when it comes out?
So real quick, I just want to say shout out to the person that made the cover for it. She spent hours and hours like hand drawing that cover and listening to our little tidbits and nitpicks that we had about it just to get it right, and put all her effort into it. So I applaud her. Her name is Faith. She's from New Orleans. Shout out to Faith.
Shout out Faith from New Orleans. Hopefully you tuned in.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
and
who knows?
yeah, I know she is. And yeah, so we definitely the project wouldn't be what it is if we didn't have that dope ass cover, because that just brings the whole theme of it together.
Cover arts are cool.
Yeah.
They add another layer to a project
Absolutely.
for sure. So is there anything super crazy. Like what I need some 6ix9ine antics out of you right now. What do you want to say? What
I
do you
don't
want
like
the
that, man.
headlines to say so that people should go stream this project on Wednesday when it comes out?
Let me think about that for a second.
What? Yeah, let me think about that. He said. What do you?
You should stream this project because me and Anthony worked very hard on it, and we want you to go and listen to it on Wednesday because we want to know your opinion on it, and that's that.
So what they're really trying to say is that no other piece of music, let alone art, has ever touched the soul the way that this project will touch the soul on Wednesday. And if
It's
you
a
don't
quote.
tune in, if you don't check it out, Jordan and Pippin coming out Wednesday. Is it gonna be on both your guys' Spotify's?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And to quote, Jordan and Pippin, the song, the track, bitch, it's like Jordan. I'm back on my bullshit. There
Boom.
you go.
Exactly. That's you better go check it out. What moving forward then? Michael, I'll hear from you first, and then we'll hear from Anthony. Moving forward, what can your fans expect? Because I'm sure I'm sure they're gonna tune in and check out, get to know you a little bit more on the music side of things. What can they expect moving forward?
A lot, because I do not want to sit back and not release music anymore. I want to be able to continuously release now.
Yeah.
And now that I have the capability to do so, I'm going to, and I want to also start doing shows. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of big things that my fans can, expect in the next year
That's super
for me
cool.
as
What
an artist.
from a marketing standpoint then, obviously that's the other thing that a lot of people don't get about being an indie musician, right? It's one thing to make a good song, it's another thing to try and get that good song heard by people. So how for you, how do you go about trying to get, share your music with people, and what avenues have you seen success? Is it being playlisted? Is it maybe, getting a big share from somebody? What is that for you?
I wasn't getting playlisted right away. Now I am, luckily. But it was all word of mouth. I was just talking to my friends, and they were like, "Oh, you should start making music." And once I did that, they loved it. And ever since,
what did you get
I've just been
playlisted on
going.
first?
Release Radar.
Oh,
That was
okay.
the first playlist I ever got on, but there's a couple more.
That's really cool. Yeah, that's a big thing. Is I know a lot of people don't get this, and I'm fortunate enough to have a decent amount of followers now on Spotify. Is that when you hit that follow button on indie artists that you guys enjoy, you at home, if you want to support indie artists, hit that follow button because they will show up on your release radar every time they release, and that is huge. And then you can just keep up to date. And if you don't like it, you don't like it, but it's just there to say hello every time they release. For you, Anthony, what can people expect moving forward, project-wise, single-wise, whatever?
Definitely, I'm gonna try and start performing next year. And obviously with COVID, everything is,
A little dicey.
kind of messed up. But we'll figure something out. And on top of that, honestly, next year I plan on putting out an R&B project, and then I plan on putting out more of like back to my roots, talking about a lot about my life and where I come from, type of album where it's just more
Okay.
like rap, boom bap, classic.
So you put out, this will be your third project in this year.
Yeah.
Do you plan on releasing multiple projects again next year then?
2 next year, yeah.
2. And then is
one at
there-
the start of the year and one at the end of the year.
And are you planning on singles in between, or what are you thinking? Or are you just kind of save things for the projects?
I mean, as far as the projects go, those will have it's singles for promoting it, and in between, I can't say that I have solid plans for singles or anything, but I'm never gonna say never. I mean, absolutely. If it could come down to a day where I'm chilling at home, I'm like, dude, I'm bored as shit. Let me put a single out or some shit. Let me make something, put it out.
Yeah.
And it's not like I would rush it either. But if
Yeah.
I had something ready and I was like, fuck it, I'll drop something.
Why not? Yeah. For you, Michael. Then, so I know you said a lot's coming. What are you thinking? Can fans expect a new project from you? I know you said you got a new single coming out.
Yes, fans can expect a new single on January 1st. It is going to be the start of my next album that is going to be releasing sometime in February, March.
Oh, awesome. You guys heard it here Is this the first time you're saying that in
This
totality?
is this is
This is
exclusive.
This is a Detox exclusive. We're breaking news right here, guys. We
Yes.
are breaking news. So do you guys have any questions for me? Is what I need to know now. What
was your favorite song off the project?
for me? I have to let me check names wise because I know what they all sound like, but only getting to listen to them twice
Right.
is
Yeah,
a
of course.
whole lot of name recognition. I know I like before this I got to listen to a little bit of both your I'd already heard a lot of Anthony's stuff before, but I got to listen to a little bit of your stuff, Michael, and I like a lot of what I'm hearing. I think it was Deja Vu was the one. Was that the one with
That's my favorite song.
the
on
interest?
project.
It had a nice sample in there.
Yeah.
Was that a sample or was that instrumentation that you played?
That was sampled.
That
I
was
cut
sampled.
it. Yeah, I cut that up.
I
and made
really
that
like
beat
the
for it.
sample on that one.
Yep.
And that song, by the way, like everything.
You did the
everything I
did the
talked
hook
about-
on that one, kind of, right? Or is it like a split hook?
No,
Because I
he-
thought
he
your
did
part
the-
repeated.
He did the hook. I have verses on there.
Okay.
I got 2 verses on there, and everything I talk about in there is like. It's kind of like it's like real shit that I'm talking about, like me and how I feel. But at the same time, it's heavily inspired by the song "Deja Vu" by J. Cole.
Yeah.
It's like everything he talks about in there. I related to that heavy as fuck, and I kind of like translated it into my
You
own
applied it to your perspective.
to my perspective
Yeah.
for this song, and then on top of that,
I got
we
that
kind
vibe
of
a
wanted to
little bit.
flip the way this Deja Vu song is, because on the other Deja Vu, J. Cole's, it's a very slower, like club bumping type of song, and this one we wanted to make a more upbeat while having like that interlane message of like, yo, I'm actually talking about this relationship
Mhm.
that I was thinking about while I'm in my bed at night or some shit. you
Yeah.
know?
So did you? I'm trying to think. Maybe I'm confusing it. Then no, I'm pretty sure it was Deja Vu. I'm not gonna leak the song. I just need to make sure I
Yeah.
heard
Okay.
the first chord or something, so I make sure I'm thinking about the right one. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all you guys get. Hopefully that didn't pick up, but that's all you guys get until it releases. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I really enjoyed that one. As well as I thought that, like I said, the production standpoint of the whole project, I think you did a really nice job, Michael. I like I'm a big fan of sequencing in projects. I take a lot of pride in the way that I sequence projects and some of my favorite albums. It really, like, it's not that it make or breaks projects, but a great project when it's like you listen to one song comes on in your shuffle and you're like, damn, I want to go back. I want to start that album from fucking song number 1. I just want to listen to the whole thing straight through.
Mhm.
When songs like are great on their own, but then they stand even better together in the sequence of a project, I really enjoy that. So I think you guys did a really good job choosing what goes
Thank you.
where sonically. I really like that. Yeah,
That was a decision we came to together too. It's like there was
Yeah,
another
definitely.
song that was kind of just like jammed right in the middle of just right in the middle of the project. Just imagine if there was another song right in the middle of that project
mm-hmm.
that theme-wise, what we're talking about, what we're saying doesn't fit at all. It only just sounds similar, like as far as how the beat sounds and everything.
Yeah.
Like the style we're doing it in.
Kind of throws it all off
yeah,
then
so
to
we
do
were just
that.
like, nah, pull the plug on that.
Yeah,
That's sick.
it can be hard to do that sometimes, but you got to
And
do
it
what you got to
was,
do.
honestly, because like the way my whole R&B stuff started was even just because I made one R&B song a long time ago. Like I just wrote it, didn't record it or anything, and then like I showed it to one of my homies like live, and he was like, "Dude, why don't you record that?" I'm like, "I'm a rapper, bro. Like I don't make R&B. Like I can't sing. I can't do
Mhm.
that kind of shit." And he's like, "Why not?"
He's using your own logic against you. Earlier in this podcast, you were saying, "I'm not just a rapper. You can do more."
And he's like, "Why not?"
He put that in you.
And I'm like, yeah, why not? Why can't I? Like,
Exactly.
who the fuck is telling me that I can't other than
Just
myself?
make music, yeah.
And so I started doing that. I recorded that song, and then after I played that song for like 5 different people, I got like the same response from all of them, and they all really liked that song. And so I
Mhm.
was like, all right, bet. So then that was gonna be on White Rose, and then like he was sitting with me and he was listening. He was like, dude, I think you need to take this song off White Rose. And I was like, yeah, dude, you're right. Yeah, you're definitely right. It doesn't fit in. And he's just like, I understand, like, you're proud of it. You want to do like the R&B stuff. He's like, but if you're gonna do that, either you put that out as a single or you just go for it and you make more. And I was like shit, I guess we're making more, bro. So
Yeah.
that's how the R&B project came to
That's
be.
a good way to. It's either
And
make more or put it
To
out
this
on its
day,
own.
that's still one of my favorite R&B songs that I've made, and it's got a feature on it from this female singer. She's talented too.
That's cool. That's really cool. How do you guys go about getting features? I know for
Honestly-
you, Michael, it was you just needed a rapper and he
Instagram,
was the guy you knew,
DMs,
and yeah.
yep.
I really don't do a lot of features, to be honest.
But yeah,
Mhm.
neither have I yet. But when I do, it's usually through Instagram, straight up. Just
Mm-hmm.
contact people. Hope
Yeah.
they answer.
Yeah.
The only people like I've officially like worked with like would be like you, him, like 2 of my friends from school, one of them being Banning,
Mm-hmm.
and then like one of my like day one homies that's also from Milwaukee. His name's Rashad.
Mm-hmm.
Him too. That's like literally it. Like I don't know. Like other than the ones that are unreleased, obviously. Those are not out yet. But like I've never really, to be honest, I've never hit up another artist and asked them to work unless I'm like familiar with them. So like I don't just like find some random dude on like Instagram and be like, "Yo, come rap with me, dude." Like, nah.
You trying to shit on how Michael gets features right now? He just said
No,
that's what he does.
no,
His feature.
no,
He shoots his shot.
no,
Why? There's nothing wrong with
no,
shooting your shot.
No, and it's completely fine that he does that.
I do
just
that
don't
sometimes
do
with the podcast, and it really hurts when they don't answer.
And
I get really sad.
No, I applaud him for doing it. I just don't. I just
That's
be
what I was
like,
gonna
I'll
say.
just be like,
it takes balls, Michael. So don't. Oh,
so-
are you 2 for 2 though?
2 for 2.
He's 2 for 2. He's
And
better
you know what, to be
percentage than me.
fair,
I'm shooting
if
like
you
0
know-
for 9.
If you know who Kid North is,
That's even better.
Okay, that is
if you know who Kid North is, he's a Chicago rapper, like artist. And I remember I seen one of my friends sent me his music before, so I checked it out and I actually liked it. It wasn't bad. And then like, I looked into his shit and I was like, okay, dope. And so I was like, I'm gonna do what he did, right? I texted this man, I'm like, yo, you down to
Mhm.
make some in the future? Like, I just want to let you know, like, I fuck with your stuff. Like, it's
Yeah.
cool if you you know, if you're busy, if you whatever. Like, let's work. If I gotta pay for a feature, I gotta pay for a feature. Like, let's just work.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, yeah, man. He's like, normally, as you see in my bio, he's like, my commissions are like this price. He's like, blah, blah, blah. He's like, but I really appreciate you being a fan. He's like, yeah, we can definitely meet up sometime, see if we can work together. And he's like, and then he gave me like a discounted price on the feature too. He's pretty dope. I haven't done it yet, obviously, but like in the future, I definitely might do that because I do like his music.
I see. I'm weird with paying for features. I've had people.
I would only do it, like I said, I would only do it if I if I believe in this person, if I legitimately like fuck with them, I have no problem supporting them monetarily.
but that's my thing. That's my thing. If I believe in you and I
Mhm.
fuck with you like that as a friend,
Mhm.
I'll just give you a feature. And you should. And I don't want to work with people that don't. If I have to pay, that's like for me. It's almost like
But
paying
like-
someone to hang out with
But
you.
let's
It's
be
like if you.
But let's be
fucking
real,
like my
though.
music and I like your music.
But let's
we
be
should
real,
just
though.
work together.
But let's be real though. I got like 450 followers. I'm hitting up this man. He's got like 15K.
Yeah.
I'm not shit to him. I am nothing to him.
That's
I'm like
true. But-
so like he has no reason to just work with me just because I like his music. Like, you know how many times he's probably heard that?
Oh,
like,
I'm sure.
And obviously if I were to work with somebody like him, that's going to give me exposure. It's not like he's saying like I won't work with you until you give me money. I more or less see it as they're being paid for like the contribution that they are making on your success.
I get that. It's not that I don't see the reasoning behind it, and I think it's valid. I definitely think people that do charge features, and trust me, I've gone back and forth because there's been some people that have hit me up that don't have a whole lot of shit going on for them, and they're not really serious about music, and
Right.
so those people, I'm always like, I want to say a price, but then it just like for whatever reason in my head, I can't wrap my head around either doing that for money or like paying someone else for it just because I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to work with like even we just did a song. I wouldn't.
Right.
I wasn't. And with no disrespect to you, if you would have said, "Hey, bro, like you got to pay whatever," I'd been like, "Okay, well, fuck off. I'm gonna write the 16 bars. Like fuck
Right.
you." Like that's what I would have said because
Right.
I'd be like, "No, if I fuck with you, I like your shit, and I think you fit on this, then let's do it. And if you don't like it, then you don't have to do it." And
Okay.
and that's like my
Yeah,
whole
right.
thing is I'm kind of weird with people that that force. I don't know. It's weird, and I get that. Yet, like you're saying, I definitely get that side that like they're also contributing. Like we just said, the marketing
Right.
side is a different thing
Yeah.
than making music.
Because I just think about it like if Travis Scott were to walk up to me right now, like I give him $100,000 to get on a song with me.
Dude,
I'm-
that'd probably be cheap because
exactly,
the
and
man
on
made
top
so
of
much
that-
money this
And
year.
on top of that, the fact that I'm on a song with Travis Scott automatically elevates you to a certain level in people's eyes, regardless of whether people want to believe that or not. It's true. People will look at you different if you have a song
Oh
like,
yeah,
with like
dude,
that
he's
name.
fucking. He's
like,
got his own Happy Meal.
yeah,
He's got
dude.
his own
Oh,
fucking.
yeah.
He's.
Oh, yeah.
I'm at work,
just
dude.
literally being associated with that person in any way is gonna give you popularity.
Yeah.
So like, I guess that's literally like the main reason I feel like, in my opinion, why feature prices exist is because you're
Yeah.
paying for the success essentially.
I get that, and I get it. I think I just have a problem with like it's
I
it's
get.
not,
You
it's
have like a
not pay
problem
to
with like the
win.
moral aspect.
Yeah,
right?
it's not pay to
Yeah,
win, but
I
it
get
just
you.
feels like pay
I
to
get you.
win.
No, I
Yeah.
get you. I get you though. I get you.
But Travis Scott's insane, bro. He's fucking narrating for
Oh.
PlayStation 5
Dude,
on the
like,
commercials and shit, bro. Like
he's definitely
everywhere.
he's the
fucking-
most versatile like business like person as far as like rap goes right now. Like he's
Dude,
just everywhere.
And you know what's insane is that when I first heard Travis Scott, how X amount of years ago, I forget how.
I
like-
never when I first heard Travis Scott too. It's not that I didn't like him. I liked him. I liked the sound, but I just think I at the time I remember thinking like he's probably not going to be like
Well,
something.
I thought he
huge,
was.
right?
I thought he was great, and I
Like,
mean he's really good.
I-
I
yeah.
really love the sound, but I just didn't think he had like a mainstream appeal in
Yeah, I
the sense
didn't
that like
think-
it's just very dark.
I
Very.
didn't think he was going to get this big to this
I
point.
mean, kids love him, bro. He's gonna have sold out shows.
isn't
He's
that
gonna have
crazy, though?
sold out shows for 10 years
you know what it
plus
is, though?
because he's at a fucking Happy Meals and Fortnite,
Pe-
bro.
yeah, people shit on him for the Fortnite thing, but say what you want. Kids for years are gonna look at him and be like, "That's the Fortnite guy," and whether they know him as the Fortnite guy or not, they fucking know him, and he's making money off of that.
Well,
like,
and a lot of those kids, that was their first show. That's the first show they ever went to. Was that fucking Fortnite
Exactly.
concert? They probably went to it 10 times.
Exactly.
They probably loved those songs.
and 20 years from now, they're gonna be like, "Dude, I remember that. That got me into Travis Scott."
That's
Or, like,
fucking dope, bro. I know people. Yeah, I get people shitting on him. There's a
Yeah,
slight
like-
corny factor to it, but I don't think he should listen to any of
Dude.
that. It's fucking insane.
right,
that he
dude.
did
Or
that.
like Marshmello too, dude. Marshmello
Yeah.
got to do that too. Like
Yeah.
that's cool as fuck. People could shit on the song because they say it's a corny like radio pop song. Okay, it is, but like. Is he still being successful because of it? And it's something that he made? Yes. Should he be proud of it? Yes. Should he take this giant deal from this game company to be put in a video game, which is something that's cool as fuck, regardless
Yeah.
of whether people think it's cringy or not?
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. They're getting paid to be in a video game. How cooler could you get? Like,
Yeah, I
Like-
always think that's really funny when people are like, "Oh, that's corny." It's like, bro, let me go.
are
let
you
me-
in Fortnite right now?
Yeah.
Like, you're shitting on Fortnite, but are you playing as you right now?
Yeah,
Like,
dude, that'd be pretty next level to have.
like
myself.
even like Ninja, dude, he has his own skin, and like people could be like, "Oh, he's famous because of Fortnite." Okay, look where he is now. He went to playing Gears of War and making money off of that to now starting Fortnite, right? And then 2 years later, he's in Fortnite. He went from
Yeah.
starting playing Fortnite and then in 2 years he was in the game. Like that's a flex, dude.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he put the work in. Like if somebody can do something like that, they should always be able to do that. And I don't think they should have any shame in it, regardless of what the bias may be on that
and
product.
I'm sure they do. I mean, I've heard Ninja go on some rants, so maybe he feels a little shame, but he shouldn't. And I don't think Travis feels.
I don't think he feels ashamed, though, 'cause
when
'cause,
you're
like,
taking baths with $100 bills.
Yeah, definitely.
you
But
know, I don't
Ninja,
think-
he just returned to Fortnite like a couple weeks ago, actually. So like, I don't think he's ashamed of it.
is he what's he streaming on now? Is he back on?
Yeah, he's on Twitch again. He's back on Twitch.
So-
Dude, hey, real quick,
so-
he got a bag. He left Twitch,
I
signed
know,
with Mixer.
for a fucking fuck ton of
Huge
money,
ass
and
deal.
then
Mixer just
dies.
falls through, and they're like, keep the money, and he's just like, fuck yeah, I'll go back to Twitch.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
literally, it worked out the absolute best way it could have for him.
Craziness, man. It really blows my mind. From a creator
Nuts.
standpoint, that's insane. Good for him. I mean, Ninja gets
Seriously.
memed all the time. We've
Oh,
got a
yeah.
Ninja poster somewhere. I don't know where it is, but we had one. We used to keep it in our. I think it's on the other side now. But we.
Hey, he's from. Isn't
He's from Grays Lake.
Yeah, I was
It's
about
like
to say. Yeah, isn't he from here?
25, 30 minutes from here. My grandparents
dude.
or my great grandparents are from Grays Lake, and they like my great grandpa
Well, dude,
actually started like the fire department there. So it's like
Banning-
hilarious.
Banning's parents are friends with Ninja's mom. Dead ass. Like that's really
One of my
weird.
friends saw him
That's
at a
really
B-dubs
like
before-
random, but I just remembered that. Like he told me that his mom and Ninja's mom were like friends. They used to work together.
Yeah, well,
And
one
he's
of my
like
friends
FaceTimed him.
met his. Well, they didn't meet him. They like said hi to him at a B-dubs
Okay.
over in Illinois, like just over the border, and it was like right as he like had started. Like I think he had like 1 million or something. like,
Okay.
so I mean, he's not fucking small at
Right,
all. But
right.
you know, but like 1 million. If you have 1 million fans, and as long as they're not all like where you live, like you can still kind of live pretty normal.
Yeah.
So it was like right before he like kind of like exploded.
Blew up.
Like
yeah,
1 million
yeah,
is still. I would if I had 1 million fans, I'll be freaking out. I
Well,
would
dude,
be
yeah.
super
Like, look at
grateful.
Jack Harlow. Like, he just puts glasses on. He can still like go through the streets sometimes with his glasses on, sunglasses, and like people won't know. Every now and then, people will be like, "Yo, it's the what's poppin' guy."
Well,
Like,
that's the thing. I and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I think that with like famous people in general now, I think like back like 20, 30 years ago, when someone was famous, they were famous. Everybody knew who they were.
mhm.
I think now with social media, and I think it's maybe even for the better that you can be famous, but you're only like you might be a really big deal, but you might only be a really big deal to like 100,000 people or 1 million people, or even if you have, think about this, even if you have 10 million like subscribers or followers or monthly listeners,
and
you
a
could
lot of that
still
is
not be
accessibility
fucking
too.
known.
That's accessibility too now, because we have a lot more accessibility than we did.
There's tons more people, so it's like I might follow fucking 20 people heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fucking know. This guy has 15 million people. I don't fucking know about him. Are you kidding me? Like, and that happens. There's still people show me people today, and I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this girl? And they sing. They're a great singer, great rapper.
My homie asked me the other day. They're like, "Do you listen to Conan Gray?" And I'm like, "No. Who's that?"
I don't know who that is.
And they're like, "How do you not know? They've been on this. They've sung this. They've done this." I'm like, "Yo, I'm sorry, bro. There's a lot of people in the world. Like, I have no clue who that is."
I think it's crazy. That's what a lot of. I'm trying to think of like who. I mean, maybe there's still like some 2000s like musicians that I guess are still kind of relevant that maybe still have that stardom, but like, you know, Drake obviously is like superstar, but like how many other people are like left that are like untouchable? I guess Travis Scott now that he did all that, but like there's not a ton of like musicians, like rappers or whatever that are like bigger than like before Eminem. 10, 20 years ago. Yeah, but he's from 2000s.
Oh, true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, you're saying not from 2000.
So
you're saying
somebody that came up in the last 5 years that isn't
so
only known by their 5 to 10 million people.
Okay, then I would.
Like think about that, and like someone like I mean, dude, fucking Trump didn't even know Lil Pump's name when he tried to bring Lil Pump out.
I just want to say,
hilarious.
Lil Pump, complete waste of microphone time. Like, that dude should not be an artist, should not be making music. And I'm very for all people making music. Like, if you feel like you should make music, go for it. He has the most like brain cell lacking music I've ever heard in my life. Like,
oh yeah, I'm with you.
It's garbage. And the fact that he even went through that whole political like stunt that he did, and he wasn't even a registered voter, kills me.
He just did it for a bag.
Exactly,
so, I mean,
exactly. And he's the furthest from relevant nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Lil Pump. That's probably the reason that Trump didn't even know his fucking name. Because who talks about Lil Pump in 2020? Nobody.
Nobody did.
Nobody.
Yeah, him and his. I mean, didn't he flopped? Then Smoke Perp flopped.
Yeah. J. Cole was right. 1985 effect is real.
Yeah, I mean, J. Cole, I think Russ had beef with Smoke Perp. They both told those people, they said, like, you guys are not going to be here.
And look where Russ is right now.
Yeah, look where Russ is.
But you know what? And you know what? I don't get too. People shit on Russ all the time. Even my homies. Like, I know there's going to be homies seeing this that are going to be like, yo, he's talking about Russ right now because they think it's so funny to meme the shit out of Russ.
Yeah.
But Russ is successful as fuck for an independent artist. He's like
he's like what
dude,
Chance probably should be.
Yeah. Chance,
like
we're not
more
even
people know who Chance the Rapper is.
We're not even going to get into
Chance.
I
want to bet. Willing to bet money that Russ is much more successful financially.
Russ gets shit on, and his music is not even bad, dude. Like, I've listened to his music. It's really not like there's sure like every now and then he'll have like a corny line or something like that, but like who fucking doesn't? There are artists that like dude, look at Eminem. He's one of the greatest artists of all time. And every now and then he'll say some of the corniest shit that you will ever fucking hear. And there are artists that do that. There are artists that are great artists, and they'll say something like dumb every now and then. Everybody does that. It's a human trait.
I think there's a lot of people that should probably take notes in just general about like their life on the things that Russ has been able to accomplish. I love his stuff. I love his music.
Regardless whether you love him or hate him, his formula, it worked, and his hard work paid off. Like, a lot of people shit on him, but like he's just a little Sicilian white boy that wanted to make music just like me, and look where he is now.
Yeah.
And I look at that with like the most amount of appreciation.
Yeah, I mean, he busted his ass and he stands for all the right things. Like, I mean, you could say if you really want to hate him because you think he said something stupid in an interview, then like that's fine. But I actually like he's someone that when I've listened to a lot of his interviews, and I think sometimes his interviews are more insightful even than some of his music. And I really like his music.
To him talk. Yeah, he just seems like he's like a genuine guy.
He's a self-help guy. He's read a bunch of self-help books. He wrote a self-help book actually. It's really
did
really
he?
Cool.
That's dope. Yeah.
Russ, if you ever see this, bro, please
seriously
let me be on a song.
Dude, like
please.
I don't give a fuck. I could get memed into the next century. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I'd work with Russ.
Yeah, dude, that would be insane. What about
Oh, by the way, real quick on that, there's such a double standard too, because everybody loves to shit on Russ, right? And then he comes out with that one song with Trippie Redd that was on Trippie Redd's album. Everybody loves that song. And then like I had homies who listened to that song, right? And I'd play it, and they'd be like, "Damn, who was that on the song with Trippie? That was kind of nice. Oh, that was Russ. Don't play that again." Like, really?
It's
like you just said, you know, like You just said it was kind of nice, but the fact that you heard Russ made you like turn it off. Like that's dumb.
Yeah,
That's just bias.
No, man. If anybody has any question if that guy can rap or not, you should listen to his newest project that just came out, Chomp. It's like came out maybe 2 months ago, and it's just bars, dude. He's a fucking really talented rapper.
Yeah,
People
dude,
just
he-
hate him.
he-
I get
he
why
practices.
what they got mad about. Like he had some like choice words. It was like he was calling out like the Smoke Perps and the Lil Pumps, like
Yeah.
when they just had blown up, and
Mhm.
like all like Uzi and all those guys had all kind of just got on the scene,
Yeah.
and he was kind of calling that out. And I think he rubbed producers the wrong way because he said that like producers need to take some of the blame for a lot of these artists being whack as fuck, because if y'all wasn't producing for these people, and like he wasn't meaning it, at least from my interpretation, as like the producers were whack, but he was saying like, why are you giving them such hot beats and giving them an opportunity when the shit that they're saying and doing is fucking awful.
Absolutely.
And I think I don't think that was the popular thing to say, and I think he got definitely memed for it. But I think like if you were to look at it now through the lens of right now, who was right?
At the end of the day,
Who was
the
right?
right thing ain't always a popular thing to
Yeah,
say.
so-
So
All right, we're at what are we at? We're at 120. I want to know, but let's wrap things up. What do you want the people to know? Anything? You have any last words for the good people at Detox, the D-bags of the world? I'm gonna hear from both
listen
of
to
you.
my music. Listen to his music.
Step
listen to
1 and
his
2.
music.
Step 1 through 3, right there.
If you don't, what are you doing? Third of all, continue to come back to this channel, because if you don't do that, what else are you doing, bro?
He brings up good points. I
Um,
couldn't have paid him better to say that. There is a gun pointed at his head, though. So
Third
don't
of
worry.
all, yeah, I don't want to die. Third of all, if you haven't checked out the show The Mandalorian, do that, because it's a good show.
It is a fire show. Michael, what do you got to say to the people?
Thank you so much for tuning in. I think I'm excited for you guys to listen to this project. I hope you guys enjoy it. And be sure to follow us on social media. Stay updated.
Yeah. Hey,
And-
thank you guys for being on too. By the way, I know it's
Thank you.
it's sometimes daunting to come on to get interviewed about your work. When I'm poking, I want to figure out what is this about? What is that about? When someone's kind of snooping around trying to get a idea of where your guys' heads were at when you're making it. But I think that's fun, and I think it's fun for the fans and people that love your music or maybe are gonna be put onto the music from this, right? I think it's fun for them to kind of get to see your guys' brains and how you came up with the things. So
you.
I know that can be a sometimes stressful thing, and I'm really thankful you guys decided to come on. Other than that, I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in live. Thank you to those listening the day after or whenever you are on Spotify or YouTube. Thank you again to Kenosha Auto Insurance for sponsoring this episode. Also want to say thank you to our patrons for supporting the channel. If you want to become a patron, just go to patreon.com/DarrenRita. Really helps us out. There's also a couple of exclusive videos on there. So with all that being said, this has been the 77th episode of the Detox Podcast. Merry Chrysler to all. And thank you one last time to Anthony Grisanti and Michael Hodnik for joining me here today. I will
Yes, sir.
see you guys next